Hey everybody, how are you? Good morning. Some is good afternoon, some is good evening. But not to hold you long, just want to speak with you in reference to, I know a lot of people are talking about this entanglement, but it is a word and we know what it means when it comes down to be in a situation that's not right. You entangled in a situation. Okay? It can be entanglement when it comes down to your ministry. It can come down to your relationships. It can come down to your job. It can come down to your spiritual walk. It can come down, it can be you can be entangled in your life period when it comes down to people, things, or whatever. It can anybody can be entangled. That's just to let you know, anybody can be entangled. It's not just a personal relationship with somebody or actual, sexual relationship with somebody. It can be that or anything else. It's multiple things you can be entangled with in life. Okay, so I want that to be clear with everybody. Anybody can get entangled in something. Okay. At the end of the day, the question was asked to me, Minister Angel, have you ever been entangled in a relationship aspect? I said yes. Okay, let alone I'm not perfect, but I have been entangled, so I'm just going to share that with you. I was probably about 25, 26 when I got entangled in a relationship. At first, in the beginning, and I'm smiling because it's funny sometimes. It's funny now. At the time, it wasn't funny, but and not trying to take August's side, because the thing with August was he knew about the situation in the beginning. He knew everything versus not knowing everything. Okay, with me, I didn't know. I didn't know anything at all. So what happened was I was working, and I had ended up meeting this guy in the grocery store. You can meet people in the grocery store. You don't have to meet them in the club. You can meet them in the grocery store. You can meet them at the bowling alley. You can meet them when you walking, anything. So you can meet the wrong person anywhere. So, long story short, so this is what happened. I actually end up meeting him in the grocery store. And he was a mechanic. I'm not going to say his name, but he was a mechanic. He was a diesel mechanic. Very well dressed, but he was dirty because he just got off work, so he was dirty and is coming in the grocery store to get something. So he told me when he actually saw me came in the grocery store, if people know me, you know how I walk, you know how I carry myself, and when I walk into a place, I ain't worrying about what's going on around me. I'm just strutting, and that's just me. I'm just walking, handling my business. And I could be thinking about something in my head, but nobody would know. I'm just strutting. I'm walking. So long story short, I'm walking in the store in my nice little strut, like I had on some heels. And I had got off work, but me and my mother was handling some business, so we was riding together. So I was just walking, just strutting. I wasn't paying no attention to nobody. Didn't see nobody in the store. It was just me walking. Okay. He told me that he was in the line to go to behind the person to get ring up, and he said he backed up after he saw me. He said it was just something about me. He just had to stop and look like, who is that? Oh, I got to see who this is. So he backed up and I guess watched me or whatever. I don't know how that went. So anyway, after I got my few items, I walked in the line, and all of a sudden I felt the embrace of a man behind me, and it wasn't like he was small. He was taller than me, and he was a little bigger than me. So it was more like I had to look back. Who is this? So I looked back, and I looked him up and down. And as I seen his face, even though he was dirty, he was fine to me. I said, "Ooh, that thing fine. Ooh, have mercy. He is fine." So he started a conversation, and we conversate. Long story short, we switched numbers, and we was talking ever since. Later on down the line, we got entwined together. We got to know each other. We spent time with each other. My father just passed. His mother had passed on his birthday. So we was sharing things. We building relationships, stuff like that. I was meeting his children. I met his father. I met his favorite aunt, the mother's sister. I was just meeting people. All his co-workers knew me. All his employees knew me. I'm traveling with him as he going to fix trucks. I'm going here. I'm going there. He coming to get breakfast. We going out to get breakfast. We going out to get lunch. You know, it was just like, at the time, you know, I was working third shift at night. So it didn't, you know, I didn't require much. You know, all I did was work, and I handle my personal things throughout the day, but I'm resting. So what I really needed a man for at the time was to handle little things that I didn't have time to handle. So like oil changes, gas tanks, wash my car, little simple stuff like that. He always did. I didn't even have to worry about that. I ain't even had to ask about it. It was done. Okay. So that made me feel secure as a woman. Now remind you, I'm 25, 26 in that range. Okay. From there, it went like we just got close. We ended up getting intimate. Okay. When it come down to that part, we was both entwined with each other. Like we knew each other body. You know, if I called him, he called me. I was on the way or he was on the way. It didn't matter. It was just more like we were just for each other. And all of a sudden, I got a phone call when I got off work early in the morning. I used to work out for like an hour sometimes and go come home, take a shower and crash. And I was off the rest of that day. So I didn't have to work that day at all. So if I wanted to stay up, I could. One of my friends, I'm not going to say her name, but we was classmates and we were always cool. You know, we never talked every day, but we always, you know, checking on each other and see how each other doing. She contacted me and told me, she was like, Angel, what's your man name? Now remind you, he was on my Facebook. We had a Facebook picture together. Okay. Now, when we take our picture, it was so much of connection. You could tell he loved me and I loved him, okay? He knew my family, I knew his family, okay? So from there, the picture was on there. So he must have went to the grocery store. And one of his now, let me let you know, he had a baby mother that he was staying with. They were staying with each other. Trust me, I didn't know this. You couldn't tell me that I knew, okay? I really, truly didn't know. I really didn't, because you know why? I didn't really have a chance to really think about things, because it was more like it was going so smoothly and so good. It was more like, you know, hey, you know, he always with me. You know, he probably just tired because he don't answer the phone at night. He just tired. I didn't think about it. But then when it came down to the point where our birthdays came up and I want to go out on a date, this, that, and the third, and you ain't make the time, now I'm wondering what's going on. So anyway, by this time, she called me. She said, Angel, what's your man name again? And I said, bloop, bloop. I told the name. I said, this is his nickname. She said, well, it's a girl here that she said that him and the baby mother been together for 8-7 years. Say what? Remind you, just spent together. This was like a Monday. We spent together all day Sunday. Just about all day. So I'm saying to myself, we was watching the football game and all that. Say what now? Okay. So I said, okay, let me investigate, because something ain't right. I said, I'll be there in a little bit. Now remind you, I was prepped to go to bed. I put me on some clothes. Don't ask me what I put on, I'll tell you. I had on me some sweatpants, t-shirt, my little hoodie, you know, little Vaseline on the hands and feet. You feel me? My little tennis shoes on, okay? So, I came out there to talk. I wasn't coming out there to fight. You know, I wasn't to save all my life. But long story short, we went there and I met with her and we talked. And it hurt me to the point because I didn't realize I was a sidekick. It just hit me that I was a side piece. And I didn't feel like a side piece. So yes, that was my entanglement. I was entangled and I was still in love with him. Then after I found out that he had a baby mama, a few months we basically took a break. He came back begging and talking and sweet talking, da-da-da, and I fell right in the same trap again. And it took me a little while to say, you know what? I don't want just a piece of a man. I want all instead of a piece. And I decided to walk away. And when I decided to walk away, I said, God, please remove this attachment that I had with this man. If he was by me or near me, I can feel it. So if he rolled past the house, I can feel it. If I'm going to a grocery store and he's coming in or something like that, I can feel it. It's like we automatically just knew each other was around. And I said, God, look, you got to remove this from me. So then we had a long conversation. And I told him, I said, you know, you keep doing the things that you're doing to her. You think that she can't never go out and get nothing else? Because she could. And I said, if she ever feel the need to do so, she would. Don't never push a woman to the back of the, like, push her to the wall and see that she won't. Anytime you push a woman in a corner, she's going to defend herself. Just like a cat. A cat is going to defend itself. They're going to scratch their way out of this here. Same for a woman. So I told him, I said, don't sit here and think, if you want to be with her, you need to change your ways and do the right thing. Because if you don't, just because you good in bed, that don't mean that she can't get nobody else good in bed. Just like she got you, she can get somebody else. Okay? So he must have thought about that. And then eventually he had got married to her. And when I tell you, God told me they got married, I felt it. I didn't talk to him. I didn't hear nothing. All of a sudden I saw him in the store. And it was real, the wedding was real recent. Because I said to him, I said, I heard you got married. Nobody told me that. God told me. He never admitted, but I saw it. And I ain't say nothing. I just left it alone. But the question that was asked to me, have I ever been entangled? And that's my entanglement. But let me tell you something. Ladies, anybody, if you feel that you can never get entangled, you can. Things can happen that you don't know anything about. People tell lies. People cover up things. A lot of stuff can happen. You don't know. So I tell anybody, if you ever get in a situation like how I've been, be prayerful, but walk away. And when I mean walk away. Because if they was with that person before you, 9 times out of 10, they're going to stay with that person. It's kind of like a marriage. Especially when they living together, it's like a marriage. He's not going to leave that person unless she get tired. But if she's not tired, she's going to stay with him. And he ain't going to go nowhere. Plain and simple. So when it comes down to this entanglement, just be careful, y'all. I know everybody desires love. I know everybody desires having someone in their life. But be careful when you sign up for certain people. You know, you got to be prayerful. You know, I'm not going to say every relationship is perfect, because it's not. But it takes work and it takes communication. And I have definitely learned that over the years. You definitely have to be able to communicate. You definitely have to be able to connect with each other when it comes down to relationships. And, you know, even having a relationship with God together, you have to know God for yourself. You can't sit here and just make an opinion up. You have to actually know, you know, and communicate with each other and trust God on every aspect of your life. You know, nothing is going to be perfect, but it's worth, if you want a relationship, it's worth communicating and talking. No, nobody's going to be perfect. You know, they have all these movies out here when it comes down to having your standards way up here. You know, I got to have somebody tall. I got to have somebody that is rich. I got to have somebody that's willing to do everything for me and I don't have to do anything. No, that's not a relationship. Just because he got the money, if he could have the money, if he does, that's fine. But you got to find a way to make that man feel special, whether it's cooking him breakfast, dinner, lunch, you know, whether it's rubbing his feet, whether it's you know, taking the time out to support him in what he does, or y'all do some create activities together. It's like you got to work together as a team. And a lot of people really don't understand that or know that. So you got to work together as a team in a relationship. So yes, I have been in an entanglement. Yes, I got myself out of it, and I had to fully put my focus on God and actually focus and keep pushing forward. But, you know, it's not fair when people like me, when at the time I really didn't know, with August, you know, I seen her and he knew. You know what I'm saying? So when you know somebody is married, or you know somebody is in another relationship, you are in the wrong because you accepted that. Okay? So for him to blurt it out, that wasn't right. But then I heard that they was saying, they was, I guess, trying to make him look like he was I guess, beat on him, and he was just trying to get it off of him. And this, at the end of the day, you're wrong in the beginning. You was wrong for accepting to sleep with a married woman, and also she was wrong for condoning it. So both parties were wrong. Now, I know we heard about Will Smith and Jada in this open relationship. That don't make it right. God ain't said nothing about no open relationship. God ain't said nothing about you can bring somebody in your bedroom. Yeah, he said about the bedroom undefiled, but they get that scripture mixed up. That means you and your husband, y'all be creative. If whether y'all want to, you know, do it in this area, or you want to flip and tangle all over this place, like stuff like that, that's different. You know what I mean? Whatever y'all do together, but not with no extra person in there. Like T.I. and Tiny. That ain't right. And she done accepted other women in the bedroom with them. But this the thing, you can tell when somebody's uncomfortable with somebody else being in the bedroom with you. You seeing your husband kissing on another woman, and you supposed to kiss her. What you doing with her? You helping to kiss on her too? Like, nah, I don't care what nobody say. Maybe I'm just selfish, but I'm not with that sharing people in your bedroom. I never been like that. Call it old fashioned, call it what you want. But a lot of those relationships, they don't be happy. Just because you allow somebody in your bedroom, those famous people, they're not happy. You'll look at the woman, she look like she miserable, but she enjoying the sex in the bedroom. But you miserable any other day. No. So I would definitely tell people, don't fool up with this celebrity stuff, talking about open marriage and swingers and all that stuff. Y'all don't fall for the hype now, because I'm telling you, all the rich people in the world are not happy. I'd rather have average and have a peace of mind and be rich in God. That's living the life. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. I wish you all have a blessed day. And just know that God loves you and I love you too. Bye-bye.